If you've been bouncing between pushing harder and wanting to check out completely, this is why. That push harder voice, that's what people call hustle culture. The pullback voice, that's what people are calling soft life. And those people are stuck somewhere in the middle. One minute, it feels like you need to be more disciplined. The next minute, it feels like you need to step back from it all. Push harder, pull back, do more, disappear for a while. And if you've been swinging between those two, I don't think that means you're confused, lazy, or unmotivated. I think it means you've been handed two really loud answers to a question you never stopped long enough to ask. And that question matters more than either trend. The exhaustion underneath this is real. People are tired in a way that isn't just about being busy. They're tired from trying hard and still feeling behind. They're tired from uncertainty. They're tired from doing what was supposed to work and still feeling off. There are people with years of experience watching AI reshape their work while their workload somehow still goes up. There are people who have been through layoffs, inflation, constant change, and all the weird instability of the last few years and still have to show up like everything is normal. That does something to you. So of course, hustle culture sounds like the right move. Push harder, be more disciplined, keep going. And soft life sounds right too. Stop forcing, maybe rest more, protect your peace. Both of them are speaking to something very real. But here's the problem. Neither one by itself is enough. It looks like pushing through another week because you think discipline is the answer, then hitting a wall and deciding you need to pull all the way back. A few days later, you feel guilty, behind, and still not clear. Hustle culture, it got something right. Discipline matters. Consistency matters. Doing hard things matters. There is something real about learning to keep promises to yourself. There's something very real about building discipline, competence, and follow through. That part isn't fake. What hustle culture got wrong is that it turned effort into the answer. The work became the identity. The work became the point. And the only direction it really offered was more. More money, more output, more success, more proof. And more is a terrible destination because you never get there. You hit one hard target and whoop, look, there is another one waiting for you. You do the thing and immediately feel behind again. You keep pushing, but you never really stop and ask what all that effort is even building. That's where a lot of people get trapped. Not because they're working hard, because they never stop to ask what all that effort was for. Now, soft life. It named something real too. People were burnt out and needed permission to slow down. They wanted to stop tying their worth to output, to step back without feeling like they were failing. And that mattered. But this is where it breaks down. Rest helps, but it doesn't give direction. So people pull back, make space, clear the schedule, and still feel off. Not because rest failed, because now there's space, but no clarity. And that's where the drift shows up. That's the part a lot of people are feeling right now. They've tried pushing harder, they've tried pulling back, and neither one really fixed it. Because both of them skipped the same thing, values. Not the curated version, not the version that sounds good, your real values. The ones showing up in how you're actually living. The ones driving your decisions, whether you've named them or not. Because when you're not clear on what matters to you, you start borrowing strategies from whoever sounds convincing. You push back because someone made discipline sound like the answer. You pull back because someone made ease sound like the answer. And neither one fully fits because neither one came from you. So instead of asking whether hustle culture is right or soft life is right, I think there are better questions to ask. The first is, what are you actually trying to build? Not what sounds impressive, not what you should want, not what other people would clap for. What are you actually trying to build in your life? Because if you never answer that, you can work really hard and still end up somewhere you didn't even mean to go. The second is, what kind of rhythm actually works for you? Not the rhythm that looks the most disciplined, not the one that looks the softest, the one that actually fits your energy, your life, your responsibilities, and the season that you're in. Some people do well in intense sprints. Some don't. Some seasons need more of a push. Some seasons need that recovery. That isn't weakness. That's self-knowledge. And the third is what actually matters to you. Not in theory, not in the version you'd put on a vision board, in your real life. What matters enough that it should be shaping your decisions, your pace, and the way you spend your energy. That's when this stops being a philosophy debate and starts getting real. Because most people don't need one more trend to follow. They need clarity. Clarity about what matters, what they're building, and what actually fits their life. And that's why I made Clarity Refined workbook. It's an interactive workbook, not to give you another system to perform, not to hand you someone else's answers, but to help you to get honest about what matters, what no longer fits, and what you keep overriding in yourself. Because once you're clear, you stop borrowing direction from whoever sounds convincing that day. And from there, you can make better decisions. Not dramatic ones, not trend-driven ones, real ones. So here's the takeaway. Hustle culture is not the enemy, and soft life is not the answer. Both of them fall short without clarity. If you don't know what matters to you, you'll keep swinging. You'll push until you burn out, pull back until you feel lost, and then swoon right back at it again. That cycle is exhausting, but it doesn't mean something is wrong with you. It usually means you've been trying to use a strategy without a foundation. And that foundation is clarity. Clarity about what matters, what you're building, and clarity about the kind of rhythm that your life actually needs. You don't need to push harder. You don't need to rest more. You need to get clearer. And that is something you can build. And if that's what you need right now, I'll link Clarity Refined, that workbook that I mentioned below. And if this conversation, it resonated with you, like and subscribe. I talk about this kind of thing every week. Until next time, reflect deeply, grow boldly, and refine endlessly.